Time now for the morning rush. Today is the last day for New Mexico to hit the 60% fully vaccinated mark. That's to fully reopen at the end of the month. 21,000 New Mexicans still need to get fully vaccinated by the end of the day. Right now, nearly 59% of New Mexicans 16 and older are considered fully vaccinated. Well, the trial continues this morning for the man accused of raping and killing a 6-year-old girl in Rio Rancho. Leland Hust is charged with killing Ariana Jade Romeo in 2018. Yesterday in court, investigators say that Hust began to change his story in follow-up interviews after the murder. A revealing video this morning shows jail workers locking a police officer in a room with the man he just arrested. Now, Silver City police officer Kyle Spurgeon is suing, claiming that he was locked in the booking area of the Grant County Detention Center for 2 years ago for 45 minutes. Erica.
Here's a look at our morning commute forecast. Temperatures climbing out of the mid-70s and quickly into the low 80s by 9 a.m. So it's going to be a warm one out there. Make sure to wear that light-fitting and loose-colored clothing again today.
The state missed a critical deadline, costing the public education department millions of dollars in federal education funding. The PED had to tap into the state reserves now earmarked for education to cover the $35 million gap. Lawmakers say that this will still hurt some students in the long run and lead to budget cuts statewide. Parents of APS students should be expecting a survey asking what changes they want to see in the district. The district is now asking parents to scan a QR code to complete the survey on the phone. Now, it will ask questions that will help the district lay out their 5-year plan, and you'll be able to take part through Sunday. Several of New Mexico's universities are getting help from the state to help fill a teacher shortage. The Public Education Department is now offering $1 million in grants to universities and colleges. Right now, the state is short about 540 teachers. Erica.
Here's a look at the Metro Threat Index for today. We aren't expecting any showers or storms, but the heat continues and we'll be making it back into the upper 90s.
Permanent repairs are in the works this morning after southwest Roswell had days of flooding. That flooding was so severe that the Chavez County Flood Control Commission could not get near it to make the repairs. The State Land Office granted emergency access to the area, allowing the Flood Control Commission and the Federal Emergency Management to fix it. Albuquerque police continue offering incentives to join the department and reach the mayor's goal of expanding the force by the end of his first term. Well, the goal was to hire 100 officers a year for 4 years. Now, APD says that they've been reaching that number, but it does not take into account the officers retiring or resigning. The Biden administration's new oil and gas, the halt on the gas leases has now been blocked by a Louisiana federal judge. That decision stems from a lawsuit from several states claiming that the administration bypassed bureaucratic steps required before a pause can happen. The New Mexico Oil and Gas Association is now praising that ruling. Erica.
All right, let's take a look at the morning drive. Our maps are looking clear. No accidents or slowdowns to tell you about as of now. And here's a look at traffic going south on I-25 near the Big I. Everything's moving right along, so have a safe drive in.
A Volcano Vista student who made a game-winning shot is now being nominated for a major award. Natalia Chavez is up for an ESPY. That's for the best play for making this half-court shot to win the championship for Volcano Vista. The award show is going to be on July 10th on ESPN.
Welcome back. On this day in 1965, abundant rain fell in Raton, measuring up to 5.6 inches. And of course, that seems great, but when we have that much rain falling in one day, it can cause that excessive and very dangerous flooding, kind of like what we saw happen in Roswell just earlier this month. Time now for the 5 facts. At number 5, an Albuquerque restaurant will soon be opening a new location at a familiar spot on Central. Matucci's, which has 2 locations in Albuquerque and 1 in Rio Rancho, is moving into the old Kelly's Brew Pub at Central and Wellesley. President John Haas says Matucci fans will find plenty of their favorites on the menu. Haas says that they plan to expand the bar area and revamp the outdoor space to make it more intimate.
At number 4, this morning, Albuquerque police continue offering incentives to join the department and reach the mayor's goal of expanding the force by the end of his first term. The goal was to hire 100 officers a year for 4 years. APD says that they've been reaching that number, but it does not take into account the number of officers retiring or resigning. As of yesterday, APD says that it has about 980 officers, but they're aiming for 1,200.
And at number 3, it's going to be another scorcher out there. We will see a handful of 100s across the state, including down in Socorro, over east in Tucumcari, and up to the northwest in Farmington. Everybody else in the upper 90s and upper 80s today. We will end up breaking some record highs in spots like Farmington.
At number 2, the state missed a critical deadline, costing the public education department millions of dollars in federal education funding. Now, to make up for it, the PED had to tap into the state reserves earmarked for education to cover the $35 million gap. Well, lawmakers say that this will still hurt some students in the long run and budget cuts statewide. Public Education Secretary Ryan Stewart says that he is confident that the state will be able to make do with the remaining education reserve money. There's only now about $4 million left in the State Support Reserve Fund. And at number 1, today is the last day for New Mexico to hit the 60% fully vaccinated mark. That's to fully reopen at the end of the month. 21,000 New Mexicans still need to get fully vaccinated by the end of the day. Right now, nearly 59% of New Mexicans 16 and older are considered fully vaccinated. Now, if we hit the 60% mark, New Mexico will be released from the county color-coded system. If we don't, that system will remain in place until we hit 60% plus 2 weeks.